Hi, I'm happy to have this chance to speak with you today on behalf of the Department of Computer Science at the University of Mount Union to talk about career opportunities in computing. My name is Blaise Cindric, and I'm a professor in the Computer Science Department at Mount Union. And today's video, I'm going to be showing some ideas for computing careers that maybe you didn't know existed, and how broad the opportunities are, and then also talk a little bit about how we offer computer science at Mount Union. So I have several slides here talking about why computing. It's a really great career area for many reasons. One of the most important reasons is that there are lots of jobs. The opportunities are really wide and varied. The job market is very strong, and according to governmental estimates, which I'll share in a few slides later in the presentation, looks like demand is going to be high for computing careers into the future. So it's a very hot area of job opportunity, and it's also exciting. One of the negative stereotypes that exists with computing is that you're just by yourself pounding away on a keyboard all day long. But contrary to that stereotype, really, computing can be very social. There's lots of opportunities to interact with people and to use communication skills, oral and written, in working with people, and you interact with people all over. Computers are used in almost every facet of modern life. So there's lots of opportunity to talk to other people, to be social, etc. Computing is used all across the world, and so you're not just locked into a small geographic or a limited geographic area. That a computing career allows you to travel to all sorts of areas of the country and the world. And one of my favorite things about computing is that it's a very creative endeavor. There's lots of opportunity for innovation. So we are creating new kinds of programs and apps and systems. And so there's all this opportunity for creativity that is at the heart of computing. Okay, a computing career allows you to have a flexible lifestyle. So you can have a typical office job if you'd like that kind of thing, but you can also work from home. You can have flexible schedules. I like to say that the world is your office. As long as you can connect, you can do lots of computing careers with a very flexible schedule. And there's a wide variety of opportunity and things that can do in computing careers. So there is the opportunity for computer programming and software development, but there also are lots of other areas that are not programming. So it's much more varied than the stereotype is of just the lone programmer working away in a dark room. Okay, here are some slides that will just talk about what work can I do. And so most computing jobs fall into one of these six general categories. You'll notice for each category that there are various job titles involved. So development is one area where we talk about programmers and specific programmers for certain kinds of tasks, like web developers or game developers. And software engineering is another type of software development career. These are the people that actually create the apps and programs that we use for so many things today. But there are lots of other areas involved in a computing career that would not be classified as development. A very important type of job is the people who ensure that the computing platforms are available for others to use. And so we use the general term infrastructure for this. Many companies have what they call an information technology department, which is involved with providing, like I said, the computing platforms, making sure that they're available for people to use. And so network engineers are very important position in a company, because making sure that the computer systems are connected to one another and connected to the external internet. But there's also DevOps managers, the development and operations, which may ensure that the systems are operational and up to date. Also, hardware architects and system administrators. The infrastructure area is a very in demand type of computer career. The world is awash in data. There's lots and lots of data, more and more data being generated all the time, and so there are lots of opportunities to work with data. As data analyst, a data scientist, database administrators make sure that storage and retrieval of large quantities of information is efficient. Also, there's analytics, and a huge area of growth these days is in cybersecurity. So cybersecurity specialists are very much in demand to make sure that um, collections of data are secure and people's credentials and logins and passwords are secure, etc. Another one of the creative areas that you could work in a computing career would be in a design area. So here what we're looking at is designing systems so that they are very usable for people, that people can get their jobs done in an efficient manner, as well as what's called the user experience. So it's enjoyable and exciting for people to work with the computer system. Another aspect of design is looking at accessibility, to making sure that the systems are usable by the widest variety of people possible. And so we have these terms UI designer or UX designer. UI is user interface, UX is user experience. These are the people that sort of design systems. How do they work, and how does the interaction between people and machine, how is that set up? Information architects and usability engineers. Another interesting job would be what's called quality assurance specialist. These are the people that try to make sure that the software that we release for use by the public or sell doesn't have bugs, or it's free from defects. So once again, lots of different kinds of careers, not just programming. Okay, and businesses use computing all the time. And there's also opportunities for computer professionals who get experience to rise into management. So an IT systems manager, project managers, even the chief information officer for a company typically comes from a computing career in their past. So lots of exciting work, not just programming, is involved with computers. Okay. Now at Mount Union, the computer science department offers two different majors. The computer science major is a traditional computer major that you'd see at most schools. We use the national curricular guidelines to shape the form of the required courses for the major. And so it gives you a well-rounded background in standard areas of computing, and our graduates have gone off to work in lots of different areas: network administration, cybersecurity, software development, also to going to grad school, going into the military. One of the features of our program is we have certain required courses that you take, but then you can augment that with departmental electives. So these would be courses that you could take to customize your major into specialized areas of interest that you may have. So for both the computer science major and our other major, what's called multi-platform software development, you can customize it according to your specific interests. This other major is a sort of a name that's unique to Mount Union. You won't see that name at lots of other schools, but we feel it's very descriptive of the content of the courses that would be required here. So you are focusing more on software development and doing it for different kinds of devices. So for computers, desktops, and laptops, as well as mobile devices, phones, tablets, that kind of thing. Also, we have a web design component in the multi-platform software development, so looking at designs of websites and web databases, that kind of thing. So there's required courses for both majors, a couple programming courses that are sort of the basis of our major programs. Even if you don't actually work in programming, it's helpful to have a little bit of a familiarity with programming even in these other areas. And then required courses in databases and computer networks for both of the majors. Also, in the senior year, you take a look at software engineering and how is software development done in large teams in the actual industry. And a couple mathematics courses, statistics and discrete math, are required for both majors. Now, specifically for computer science, we focus on these other areas that, once again, come from the typical curricular guidelines nationally. So computer organization, looking at more down at the chip level and the memory of the system, the processors, algorithms and data structures, operating systems. So looking at how operating systems control the computer, allows us to run our apps and programs, principles of programming languages and theory of computation, and Calculus 1 is also required for computer science. For the multi-platform software development major, these classes are required. Professional programming practices. How do people do things in industry today? A required course in mobile device programming, actually writing apps for phones and tablets. A web database programming course. So how do you do the back end of a web system? And then the front end stuff, the web design, intro to web design, intro to animation, programming for interactive media, and an interaction design. This is where we get into the user experience, usability kinds of issues, and also accessibility of interfaces for people. Okay. Now, here are some of the courses that aren't specifically required, but could be plugged into either one of our majors to customize your experience, as I was saying. So we have the artificial intelligence course that we offer, computer graphics, parallel programming. Network security is a very popular option that many of our students take to learn about cybersecurity. Machine learning and data science, we also have offerings in. So those are just some of the different courses that you could take, exciting topics that we would look at in our department. I want to leave you with some statistics and projections from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. And these are graphs or projections of annual new job openings in STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, up through 2024. Okay, and so you'll notice that the vast majority of annual new job openings is in the computing field, as opposed to natural sciences, engineering, and mathematics. So computing is a huge growth area. There's lots of opportunities, and our students really have had lots of good success in being hired over the last decade because it's such a great employment area or career opportunity area. Okay, here's another graph which shows that over 3/4 of the new STEM job predictions will be in computing up through 2024, and broken down into various kinds of career paths: computer systems analysts, information security analysts, software developers, database administrators, network administrators, etc. Okay, and so, by the way, did I tell you that there's lots of computing jobs available? We have these sort of another breakdown of the various careers, and you notice the vast majority here are in the computing area. Well, thanks for your attention and this opportunity to speak with you. If you had any questions, I'd be really glad to answer any questions you have. Here's my phone number and my email address, and I would be very happy to talk with you about computing careers in general or the opportunities that we provide in Mount Union's Computer Science Department. So thanks very much and for your attention, and good luck with your careers and career choices.